What do you guys think of when I say the word sacrifice? For some of you, you probably think on a larger scale, like our military men and women deployed overseas. During this pandemic, you're probably thinking of frontline workers. For a mother, she may sacrifice her body for 9 months or more carrying a little one. But what if we think of sacrifice on a much smaller scale? Something day to day that we can do to show others around us love and appreciation. We could show our coworkers love and sacrifice by giving them donuts or coffee at work because we know it's going to be a rough week ahead. For me, last week, I sacrificed for my sister while I stood in line at Ulta with 32 people in front of me because she just had to have that curling iron that was on sale. So, for me personally, I believe that sacrifice means giving up something that you love for someone that you love more. So, for me and Harper, every year we can show this by filling up our piggy bank. On the front it says be the change, and even though that is a play on words for pocket change, we like to do it to show gratitude to those around us. You see, every holiday season we go and count the money, and even though she asks what toys she can buy with it, she knows that it is for a greater purpose. We use this money to buy gifts for the Angel Tree, make donations in Salvation Army buckets, even go and this year we will be putting a large tip in a tip jar at a coffee shop. So you see, be the change is actually a shorter version of the quote by Gandhi. It says, be the change that you wish to see in the world.
Yeah.
So this evening, my question to you is, how can you be that change? You
That's
see, I think the answer to that is that one word, sacrifice. So we can see examples of sacrifice all over the Bible, small and large versions. You see in John chapter 6, we see the feeding of the 5,000. The disciples are sent to go find food for everyone, and one of the disciples comes back with a small child that has 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. Now we don't know what that food represented for that child. It could have been food for his family for a day, for a week, possibly even the entire month, but he still brought what he had. In Mark chapter 12, we see a story of a widow who puts 2 coins in an offering box. Compare that to others around her that were putting large bags of money in the offering. And Jesus points out to the disciples that it's not the monetary amount that mattered, it was the level of her sacrifice. You see, for those rich men, those bags of money that they were putting in there was just their extras. It didn't even put a dent in their bank account. It meant nothing to them. But for that widow, those 2 coins was everything that she had. So again, we see a small sacrifice and a large sacrifice, but in both accounts, they gave what they have. So this evening, when we talk about a sacrifice, giving up something that you love for someone you love more, there's 2 parts to it. Part number 1 is that we need to figure out who we're sacrificing for. Is it a family member, a friend, a waitress that shows us kindness every time we're in there, even though we know that she is slammed? And then the second part is, what do we have that we can bring to her, that we can sacrifice for her? Is it a hug for someone that you know you're not a real big hugger, but you know that a hug is what they need in that moment?
Wow.
Is it putting your kids to bed before you do your homework so that you can spend quality time with them? But no matter what the sacrifice is, it's going to mean something to you. It's going to hurt a little bit, because a heart that doesn't know pain is a heart that doesn't know love. And so
that's good.
To sacrifice, we need to give something of ourselves. You see, this came over me in a vision that I had when I was donating blood. I was sitting there praying for the people that would receive my donation. And in that moment, God showed me a vision of Jesus on the cross.
Mm.
You see, in that moment when Jesus was sacrificing himself, when God was sacrificing something that he loved in Jesus for someone, you and me, that he loved even more, he was doing that for our freedom. He was thinking
right.
of you and for me in those moments.
It's good.
So in this holiday season, when we're sacrificing to show others around us that we love them, what is that person going to receive? Are they going to receive happiness? Are they going to receive a monetary donation that's going to bless them until their next payday? Are they going to receive happiness and closer friendships and relationships? But most of all, what I hope that they see in your sacrifice is your love. Thank you.
That's great.